with this double controller is something to admire. I'd say nearly caught off guard there, but we'll be able to escape away. But Borkum will find Defo, and actually Chronicle as well on the back of that. A little bit of a bait there.
This is actually going really well. Gambit are kind of struggling to break back in on this. All trades effective and all going Secret's way. Maybe a reminder, a confidence builder here for Secret after a pretty rough Map-3. And yeah, it's down to Shados.
A Ghost and a Sheriff, two Sheriffs, apologies, one in the hands of Shados as well. A little bit of a crunch towards Showers here.
Oh, we are getting the dubstep POV though, that's nice. Fans around the world will be loving it. Nats and Chronicle last two alive. Luckily, however, for those playing along at home, if you aren't just a fan of the dubstep cam, it does mean as though that there's only two. So Nats and Chronicle, what can you do out of this one? Dubstep does make his way over towards the site. Nats and Chronicle have actually found two, and now the 1v1.
The spike.
Dubstep up against Chronicle. Spike has been retrieved. The massacre in the showers has gone down. Dubstep actually going to play forward into this. Chronicle, it's not like he's going to be surprised by this though. Look at him holding this angle and patience. I like this though. I'll take this every day of the week. Now, yes, they find one, but do they expect the second? It looks like they're checking for it, but hasn't quite uncovered the secret that waits down towards middle.
He does spot him.
Yeah, there it is. Good work from Chronicle to keep that in mind. So we do have at least a frag coming in on the other side, but there is still players there. There's always a contingency plan, it seems, right now for Gambit, and they've overwhelmed Jesse. As Wits, Spencer are the last two alive. Make it just one. It's not pretty there. That's not pretty at all, and it's actually getting not necessarily.
So, sorry, two, my mistake. That's the only way to go on Chronicle.
I love the fights for the extremity, though. This is so exciting to me.
The emphasis from Secret. There was 3 players there swinging out from Garden.
But they're both doing something similar, which I like. This kind of mirrored approach that we want to take control of the extremities as much as we can, fight for those orbs if we have to, which is looking like at least Secret will get one under their belt, and the other should be, again, retrieved by Gambit, so it should even out in some way. But mirrored approach, at least in the beginning.
And a couple of pings coming through as well. You can see, I think, Gambit potentially with their sights set towards A, but Secret already preemptively rotating that way. Spike not committed though. Again, Gambit, this is more of a typical round in terms of the timeline here. Approach that 45-second mark, their boat and Nats will start to explore short.
Yeah, it does look as though they're leaning back towards that A site now after holding that default for some time, showing presence across the map. But it seems though short is going to be the destination. Nat's going to be doing what Nats does best, but let's see if he's been read, and he has been. Jesse well positioned, prepared to receive. Does get at least the visual confirmation of that player so close by. Seekers did come through as well, just kind of chasing down the final player, so everyone from Secret is in the right place at the right time. Here we see Shados towards the shower, going to find Borkum, but now it's everyone else who's still alive. Jesse still stands and Dubstep still stands. Seekers on the other side now come through, going to try and isolate, but Jesse finds Chronicle off that spike. Now what more can be done in this though? That off on the way back in is going to be tricky on the retake.
Really looking towards Jesse to get something done here as he comes under pressure. Shados again stuck in this corner until that flash comes back on. Another couple of seconds on that, but Secret making the most of the time here.
That's lovely work from him, still bringing that up to bear, finding Redgar, and now Shados. Flash is there, it's not ideal, that's going to be a halfway defuse. The swing, it's not enough, Jesse! The cornerstone so far for Secret this time. They haven't been given much to work with at the start, so it kind of funnels them towards either middle or short, I guess, are the two options, unless they want to try and regain that space where they have to burn. Probably limited utility to try and take it now.
A little more focus put towards Showers, and what's interesting here, again, whether or not this becomes a factor, but Dispenser's utility is literally invested to address Nats. That is literally a counterplay there.
Ooh,
and
Jesse!
The one person we're talking about, Jesse's going to find him with the Hunter's Fury. And remove that piece of Gambit's setup. Now, how do they relinquish the control here, Laura?
Because, but again, there's so much information being held on this. Jesse can hit that quick rotation as well, even if it's with a suboptimal weapon at this point. Flash comes in, still plenty of utility on short from that KJ. Going to give him a fair bit to lean back on here. And they still have that shower control, so it's going to give them a nice little crossfire potentially, but Gambit going Going to try and work their way forward. Has to give away so much information getting
left.
to this point. Spike can go down potentially. A tap on the spike draws out further utility, but look at the time, down to 20 seconds. And look at the players smothering from every side. A quick TP taken. That's going to be the spike towards the other side now. A couple of other players join in, and shahzam tries to catch one of the heals. Oh my word, how's he alive? And the double dip comes back out from the Astra fighting shahzam. Redgar and Chronicle now put to work. Ult is online for Chronicle. What can you do with that though?
Okay, he's stuck on site, not really any possibility to
check
use it.
it.
Borkum. Actually, they're both fine kills. Chronicle finds another one.
No way, Redgar. Oh, Dispenser, well handled. Again, they are maintaining some of this composure in these pressure scenarios, because that started to look dicey at the end then.
It does, and just to come back to that, I saw from Icebox, straight away here, different story for Secret.
Turns a flash, but does not turn away from the pressure mounting towards Long. He's got backup as well. Jesse's by his side. Defo goes down, and more start to pour forward, and Dubstep is doing it to him. And this is Team Secret looking strong right now. Not overwhelmed this time. Keep in mind, even on Icebox, the pace change caught him off guard. That was the one get out jail free card for Gambit. This time, it ain't happening. Chronicle is left on an island. There's nothing much to do about this.
Full control of the spike. Chronicle, a Spectre in hand. He's got to close the distance if he wants to even find a consolation. Some damage in a round like this, and Secret disciplined enough. They're not going to give it away to him. Dispenser actually will lose out on that one, as I say. He needed to get a little closer.
Yeah.
Chronicle makes it work at range.
40 seconds to try and do something, though. I mean,
there's bodies on that spike. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, there's a few of them. There's a few players keeping an eye on it. He's got 20 HP.
30 seconds left.
And then goes go down Long. Just making sure they don't lose track of him, and they're still going to keep out of mind's eye towards where he is. And the gap's being closed, as you can see. The Astra's starting to work the way so they know where he is and where he isn't. Yes, he can be a problem, but for 10 seconds he gets shut.
Beautiful.
It's occasionally going to get you that little extra, that little across the line that you don't expect. And you look what it's done, it has humbled some of the money building here. We do have that just Sheriff coming out, for example. Oh, still with Dubstep, plenty of ults to play with Redgar. Did he just get away with this position?
I think he did. He's unchecked. You can see
Ooh,
Dubstep
can he
very, very close by.
How long does he hold this? Does he try and play this one out? See if he can hold that patience? Because you can see them hitting these rotations towards A already.
Again, Redgar can stay here as long as he wants. He's got that global utility, so he can be very disconnected from this execute. But 3 players from Secret already preemptively stacked up, and he's going to be rewarded for it. Absolutely. Look at this now, and it's both extremities, Lauren. It's exactly what you were talking about.
There is at least a trade back, so it's not all for nothing, and he can turn his attention back to this short hit coming in. That's being part of it. Borkum's in trouble now. He's going to have so much attention his way. Too much to handle as Chronicle does find him.
Actually get damage onto him. Borkum almost bailed out of that situation. Jesse will find a response onto Nats as well.
Jesse always seems good for one with that ult. He's been getting a couple of connections, but there's the answer right back. The pause for thought works for Gambit. They find 3 to instantly alleviate the pressure that was on that 8 site. Now a quick flash does at least give them a step. And maybe a concept as to where shahzam is the follow-up as well is going to be great. Going to force him away.
One enemy remains.
Now they can indeed catch him, as now shahzam is your last one alive. 50 seconds, Spike basically as far away as possible, and there's the answer. This is kind of the one of the two, but already Nats is actually building up quietly towards short. Something new here, but we have seen Nats do this in the past, but it seems like that's, again, something they're aware of. Nats now has to fall away from this, buying more and more time here for Secret. Look how deep they're holding on that B site as well.
Yeah.
Wow.
And again, I think that's on the back of Dispenser having that lockdown available. Jesse doesn't want to give anything away. No point playing site here and potentially giving away a kill.
But there's no spike in hand yet, though.
No. Actually, on the side of Gambit, you can see the nano swarm there, sorry. Just to cut off any push in towards elbow. But spike retrieved now. 35 seconds. Redgar outside showers. The Cosmic Divide invested. Actually, the lockdown in response here. That's a tilting way to die.
Yeah, and there come the ults as well. Gambit, though, going to just crush in towards the backside of the tube on that kind of L-bend corner. shahzam, that was not pretty. Wits outdoes you. And the lockdown does get denied, and it is a 4v3, but Spike is planted, and Wits gonna have to do something with this. Jesse expecting that flank. He's right to be feeling as such, but Defo's holding the line. Jesse's timing's gonna have to be perfect. It's not. Redgar outdoes him, and Gambit finding ways here means to pressure, and as said, they were holding so deep there in secret. By the time they were able to address it, they were already in their face on the site. The ults are popped.
They're in full control, garnered on the back of the Viper's pit as well. But again, it's Gambit's willingness to getting ahead to force their way all the way into elbow. Again, I think a good read based on just the scoreboard, seeing that ultimate being available. I think no way,
and that was
man.
a player who had the ult as well, I'm pretty sure, at that point, which is a little unfortunate.
That's the only smoker as well for Secret.
No. Okay. And I'm already seeing Nats kind of popping himself up in a deeper position as well. So again, he's a little further ahead of the rest. The bait on the flash, no one there to receive it, but still going to take the space as is necessary and can now start shuffling all the players across with that spike.
And now it becomes a problem. Once you've lost somebody from this A setup, what's the shower's control worth? I guess without a Sage in the composition, you'd argue it makes it difficult for Gambit to plant, but...
Dubstep. How much are you going to get out of this? It's going to be Jesse towards CT. Yeah, this is going to be interesting. Gun barrels noted. Lovely shot from Jesse. Long presence now.
30 seconds left.
Found at this point, Jesse. Oh, more would have been perfect, but it's Dubstep to find it. Gets Defo, looks towards long, can't get it. Shados on the trade out and now into a 2v2. TP taken. Spike down left. Flash is going to connect. But it connects on both sides. Blinded. As Redgar now in the 1v2. And that spike is... No way, Redgar! God, Red! Defo going to try and catch the cross, but gets the information. Chronicle down low, going to have to try and deal with the pressure, even though he's the walking wounded. Defo still stands his ground, and he actually loses his life for it. Redgar going to be called upon. TP now taken, and away we go towards that B site. They've actually managed to do this properly. They've really drawn Gambit through a loop.
Dubstep actually will stay inside the TP. We'll get traded out, but now actually Gambit presented a 2v3. Members battered and bruised on the side of Secret, but again, this one stacked against Gambit.
This drop down is going to be tricky. Let's see if they've got any way to facilitate this. Well, that's a bit of info.
Bow.
Yeah, that's not bad. Maybe you can work out where that crossfire is. He's got one flash to play with, but there's an element and they're trying to buy it. And here we go, going to block off at least one side, try and flash through the other. They're on towards the side. Nats finds one. He needs more. He knows where they reside. He knows where they're hiding from him. But it's the spike that's going to be the problem, and it's all down to one. Maybe there's life for them yet. Spraying wildly. He's got Nats down, but now the 1v1. The defuse. Oh, he's kept control of it. That was getting right towards the end of things. That could have spun Gambit's way. They got past the two, and the third was just out of grip.
It's the one of the two. Ultimately, that drops that wall and makes it doable for boakum. 4 on the round. The Red Bull clutch. Get this second half kicked off. And again, Secret, honestly, it takes so long for them to find these kills that I think as soon as they take that TP, they've eaten up enough of the round. At that point, it's like, yeah, actually, we know the rotations come through. We have a
heavy one rifle for Dubstep and a bulldog for Jesse. Nat's going to try and do what Nats does.
Tuck in somewhere.
That's exactly it. Right. That is literally isn't that just like the most perfect summary of Nats? Still good for one at the very least. And again, he only has a classic and a fair amount of utility to play with. But they're quartered into this.
Yeah. Again, don't expect Nats to go hunted. He's trying to entertain the possibility of retrieving that weapon, but we'll settle for the classic for the time being. Actually, the Sheriff, yeah, from Shados. Secret, though.
Toxin screen down.
They hang around. You can argue overstaying their welcome, but they will re-explore B. I think, again, with the focus on not wanting
30 seconds left
to give away that weapon there, Dubstep actually finds the open here. Redgar will fall. Nats will respond, though. And Secret got to be careful here.
Deploying drone.
Get them worked down. They're being just chipped away at. Dubstep. So we're going to try and keep CT safe. Spots it. Just a pixel out of place is enough to keep the attention drawn. And Defo's found Dubstep. We're down to 2. Jesse still left loose. Position noted on towards the side. This is getting dangerous. Jesse trying to deal with that player coming through hookah. But it's going to be just down to 1. boakum, can you do this? Can you keep your team safe? Switch out to the pistol. It's getting closed in on Defo. Leaping forward. And Defo doing so much work in Gambit. They've got to have a good idea. This is potentially a stack on this side. They've seen 2 players on long and the utility from the Sova. So they have to have a good idea. They're coming up against a lot of players, and they're actually going to continue this way. Nat's going to slot himself in as well. Dirty little off angle to play under. 3 players posted up towards long. This looks like it's going to be bursty off the back of potentially a flash or a little piece of information, but Nats does what Nats does best. Rats it out, here's the play. He predicts dubstep getting towards the side, but it's Shadows to find wits. There's the swing from dubstep. Oh! You can see it across his face. He knows that this is looking like how deep we're going to walk on this. Defo. And yeah, we're getting aggressive, but dubstep is right there. This is going to be a lot of players. He jumps the corner. It's not great. Nats punishes too. This is looking like they're losing hope and faith in their own plans. They're losing all of that spark that got us aboard the secret train. Defo's still got control on this. There's going to be a pixel shown. A little unlucky there on almost either side to an extent, but managing to make it away alive on both sides.
See if they can do anything to recover this round here. Nats down to 4 HP. Shados has fallen, so no heal on the cards here. But Dispenser and Boaster worlds apart. And Gambit can sit tight in this 2-2 setup. That's again low HP. He's just going to try and jump spot for some info. Again, not entirely sure of the end goal here, whether or not Secret are just going to allow the clock to run down. Oh, actually just catches a glimpse here, but Chronicle posted up and actually,
good pick.
Yeah, Defo will be found. Dispenser on the other side.
This is really nice. They've done the push and pull on either side. TP can be taken. They decide to sit towards that A site. Maybe knowing where Chronicle is better. Left. I guess better the devil you know, right? And away we go towards the A site. Fight is so integral, and it could have been something. 20 seconds. Ult now invested. Dispenser, what can you do here? Can you do anything to save your side? A tag taken. And now the 1v2. Nats is in the back lines, and of course he will be the one to take them towards 12. And this could be the downfall of Secret and Gambit ascend. Or is it all just a fever dream at this point as Defo? He ain't subtle, he's going walkabouts.
And here we do get actually a more comfortable weaponry than I was expecting from Secret here, but you question the utility behind it. Straight up, actually, Defo will find Boaster as well, so that's the smokes removed here. He'll try and cut through the defense here of Gambit. Dubstep will actually find Chronicle. That makes it interesting now.
It does, but it does force Defo's hand, and for now it's looking pretty deadly. Going to try and get away from the KJ. Try and move himself around a little here. Redgar's found Dispenser. This is now looking problematic. Good work comes on in as it's just Dubstep now left in a 1v3 with it all on his shoulders. And it's going to be an uphill battle. He's been shot in the back by Nats. Welcome to playing Gambit. It's 13 to close out here.